The Xbox Game Pass Ultimate pri- the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price hike has been delayed depending on where you live. So as we know, last week we got the announcement for the Xbox Game Pass price hikes. It sent the internet into an absolute frenzy. And there's been so many spin-off rumors and stories that have come out from the price hikes. It's actually been pretty crazy here in the news cycle when it comes to Xbox. One of the things people were hoping for was that if there was enough pushback, they would reverse the prices for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I don't think that's going to happen. You can just tell from the marketing campaign, this is the decision that they've made and they're going to move forward with this, whether people like it or not. And we'll see how this does end up turning out. I think the biggest thing here is the 75 plus day one games. How is that going to end up happening? Because right now, Game Pass, before the price hike, day one games were phenomenal and the value was very, very good. If they can improve upon that, we'll see what the reaction is going into next year when we start seeing what some of those third party day one games are. But depending on where you live now, it looks like the price hike is not going to affect you, at least if you didn't cancel your subscription. We have this report here. People were getting emails yesterday morning and it was kind of coming out of nowhere. People thought these emails were fake. And then you looked into it further and you realize this is for certain European countries who have consumer protections or around these things. They're actually being saved here because of those protections. It does seem like here from the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price hikes. They say here Microsoft is holding off on its Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price hikes for some existing subscribers in select countries. And after announcing a 50% price increase to Game Pass Ultimate last week, Microsoft now says this price increase will only currently affect new purchases and not existing subscribers in markets like Germany, Ireland, South Korea, Poland, and India. So I pretty sure there are some other markets as well. We'd have to go through the whole entire list, but at least if you live in those ones that I just listed, you right now, if you didn't unsubscribe, are safe from the price hikes. One of the things that did obviously occur after the Game Pass Ultimate stuff happened, lots of people reacted very, very strongly. And then you had just the wave of influencers, YouTubers, social media people going out there and creating their videos and their content surrounding this, which would have gotten the word out to even more people about how angry everyone is about the Game Pass Ultimate price raises and that $10 increase. And then it would have had people looking at their subscription service. Maybe if they hadn't been using it very much, or maybe they didn't even realize what they were previously paying, and then they're doing the comparison, seeing if the value is there, all that stuff, and they will go ahead and cancel the Game Pass subscription. If you were in one of those countries, unfortunately, if you were thinking about ever going back to Game Pass Ultimate, if you did cancel it, now you're actually going to get the higher rate. But if you didn't and you still have it going and you're using it, then you're going to be set at the current rate that you're at, not at the new rate that is going to be going into those markets. Now, Microsoft did actually respond to this. This is also on a major part here of Microsoft and the fact that you would have thought when they did announce the price hikes, they would have put this in there right away so that the people in those countries wouldn't even have to worry about whether their subscription price was going to go up or not. That probably would have stopped cancellations, at least in those countries. So there's two things here. Microsoft, terrible communication and marketing when it comes to this in terms of what countries are unaffected. You're going to have a bunch of people unsubscribing that are now going to be even more disgruntled because their subscription price, if they ever want to go back, is going to be at the new rate, which will probably lead to the chances of them ever going back being even lower. And they're going to be losing permanent customers from that. Because I do see in the future, although there is a huge emotional reaction right now to the Game Pass price increases, if let's say when we start seeing the day one games drop, those 75 plus day one games, and there are just some major third party bangers in there, like more Clair Obscur Expedition 33s, more Hollow Knights that do come into the service, I would almost bet you're going to start seeing people resubscribe up to Game Pass Ultimate at the new price point, at least just play some of the games that do drop into the service. But if you got screwed over because of the lack of communication here from Microsoft, you may never even think about it going forward into the future. But here's what Microsoft does say. At this time, these increases will only affect new purchases and will not affect your current subscription for the market in which you reside, as long as you are on an auto-recurring plan. And they go on here to say, should you choose to cancel your plan and repurchase, you will be charged at the current new rate. So yeah, if you unsubscribe, you're shit out of luck at this point. You're getting the new rate, even if you do live in those countries. And they say The Verge says that the email is genuine and it's not impacting subscribers in the US or the UK, saying our recent Game Pass update remains unchanged. Current subscribers in certain countries will continue renewing at their existing price for now, in line with local requirements, and will provide advance notice before price adjustments take effect in these countries. That comes from Carrie Perez, the head of Xbox Communications, in a statement to The Verge. And this is the email that was in question. This is what they did send out. And it came from a weird URL that people were saying, because it's coming from that URL, this is a fake email, ignore it, don't click on it, anything like that. But they've used that email in the past before for other things. I believe for age verification, that was the URL they used for those emails that were sent out, meaning that this is absolutely a genuine email. And obviously, Microsoft did confirm that. Now, the changes here, this is some pretty big jump, because in Ireland, you were previously paying $17.99. And now, if you had canceled and you want to get back in, you're going to be paying $26.99. So that's a $10 price raise there. So we'll see how many Ireland customers canceled and we're thinking they'll just go back when they want to play a game that lands. And now they're kind of screwed at paying that extra $10. But and the reality is, it may not be that massive of a deal for some people, because one thing I am seeing is a lot of people complaining, and a lot of people are very outraged about this. They've been openly admitting that they played just a couple of games on the service. They didn't use it nearly as much as they thought. So now paying the extra $10 makes it absolutely no point in staying subscribed. But my theory and my thought on this is, even if you were subscribed at $20, if you were barely touching the service, you probably shouldn't have even been subscribed at that. So if you've unsubscribed because of those reasons, and now you have to go back and you're going to be paying the higher rate, it's not a big deal, because you're probably only going to be paying that higher rate to play that one game, which you're still going to be playing a brand new, probably day one release, third party or first party, for only $26.99, which is still a good deal. And then you'll probably unsubscribe after you've played that game. I feel we're going to see a lot of that going forward. As mad as people are, and as people are saying they're just going to go out and buy all of their games, the reality is, once you start comparing the price tags of these games, the FOMO hits. You don't want to spend $80 on a game. You're probably going to spend the $30 day one, beat the game within the month, unsubscribe until the next one comes out. And that may not be even for a couple of months. So you're still going to be able to play some big games here for a much cheaper price. I do see that probably ending up being a trend for a lot of people who completely unsubscribe from the Xbox Game Pass service. But this is just another thing here in this whole saga, and it will continue. We'll see if there's any other changes. We'll see if Xbox ever goes back and maybe makes this a permanent change, because I think that would be a great thing if they see this and they see a reaction to it, where maybe not everyone jumped off the bandwagon. They look at these countries and they see a lot of people in these countries are now staying subscribed at the current. Maybe they go back and say, just for the goodwill of the customers in the United States and Canada and the UK and all the other countries who don't have this luxury, they're going to be able, if you did not unsubscribe, stay at the current rate as to what they were paying. And yeah, we'll see. If probably won't happen, because then that would lead to another amount of people pissed off who unsubscribe. It would just be a whirlwind of more terrible PR and terrible communications coming out from Xbox. But I will end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. We'll be right back.